the Hardwood Tree Improvement and Regeneration Center. It is based at Purdue University. It is a long-standing collaboration between Purdue University and also the USDA Forest Service, the Northern Research Station.
In addition, we have several other partner organizations and agencies that participate with us as well. And this partnership is aimed at improving the growth and regeneration and management of hardwood trees in the Central Hardwood Forest Region.
We have been working here at Purdue on the genetic improvement of fine hardwood tree species since the year 1998.
We work together to advance the science and application of tree improvement, management, and protection to improve hardwood forests, with emphasis in the Central Hardwood Forest Region. The HTIRC uses a variety of tree breeding techniques to improve hardwood trees to attain a number of desired traits.
The primary traits in the breeding program have been bigger growth, better growth, faster growth, and then better quality timber form. The healthiest forests are those that regenerate naturally. The problem is a lot of these fine hardwoods are not regenerating in the woods, and so they have to be planted artificially. But our long-term goal is to ultimately have that planting stock become forests for the future.
Many people who live in the Midwest are interested in the problem of the loss of tree species due to exotic disease. We have many examples of this. Our role here at HTIRC is to understand this disease process and understand the genetics that controls resistance to these diseases, and how we can introduce genes, for example, that will help trees resist these diseases so that in future generations we can restore these species to the landscape.
So right now my work involves looking at figure formation. I have taken samples of wood that has figure, compared that to samples that doesn't have figure. And when I say compared, it's compared at the DNA and RNA level. What I want to do is I want to try and figure out whether it is an environmental response to have figure form in wood, or is it more genetically linked?
Traditionally, the goal of any tree improvement program, whether it's HTIRC or the various other cooperatives that function across the country, is to provide seed that will be better than an average seed source that you collect from a tree or from a wild seed source. So all of that work gets contained in the seed, essentially.
The Central Hardwood Forest Region faces many challenges. These include high deer populations that prevent desirable tree regeneration, invasive plant species that outcompete native plants, and white and red oaks not regenerating in many woodlands where they are the dominant older trees. HTIRC research helps improve forest management to meet these challenges.
At this site, we're looking at the effects that Amur honeysuckle, which is an invasive shrub from East Asia, has on forests. We're concerned about natural forests, and one concern we have about invasive species, particularly shrubs like Amur honeysuckle, is that they are going to create conditions that don't allow trees to reproduce. So one question we ask, in addition to the effects that invasive plants are having on the forest, is what effect deer are having. And one thing we want to know is what effect that has on the forest. So we built these large exclosures to kind of remove the effects of deer, and then we can compare inside and outside the fence to see the effects they're having.
We were in the middle of a stand of white oak and red oak trees that had a prescribed fire last fall. We had a goal of removing a lot of the understory leaf litter in order to produce conditions that would allow regeneration. Here's an example of a tree. You can see some scorch, basically some char from the fire, but it didn't damage this tree. That's the type of balance that we're looking at in a prescribed fire.
So I'm a regeneration scientist, and so I study the regeneration phase of forestry. So everything from seed collection to propagating seed in the nursery. So these are black walnut seedlings, and they grew for 1 year before they were transplanted into these pots. And ultimately, seedlings like this will be planted out into the forest or planted out into open lands where they become the new forests for the next generation.
Insects and disease threaten some of our hardwood trees and have nearly eradicated some species. Understanding these pests can help us better manage trees to prevent losses.
Thousand cankers disease is a pest complex that's caused by the interaction of three players. A bark beetle called the walnut twig beetle, a fungal pathogen called Geosmithia morbida, and a susceptible host, black walnut. In the West, symptomatic trees that are affected by thousand cankers disease usually died within just a few years. So by understanding the etiology of this disease, our hope is that we can identify those factors that influence the ability of black walnut within its native range to recover.
Sharing the results of ongoing research with forest managers is vital. To meet that goal, HTIRC produces extension publications that address improving planning and management practices and hosts meetings and conferences for researchers, resource managers, and landowners.
Some of the things we do is actually provide a series of extension publications on the planting and management of high-quality hardwood trees. In addition, we have research publications that are advertised on our website and a semi-annual email newsletter that's distributed providing information on the research, the extension publications, and the activities of the HTIRC in general. And anybody can access that information on our website. We also participate in some national and international conferences and symposiums that provide an opportunity for both landowners and professionals and researchers to share information and to find out more about what we're doing in management for the hardwood resource across the country.
HTIRC is also helping to train the next generation of scientists and natural resource managers. HTIRC graduates have carried their skills and knowledge into research, management, and industry careers around the world.
So a lot of the experiences that I've had over my several years here, I've gotten to go to a lot of really interesting places, meet a lot of professionals in their field, and I think that has really helped me to kind of put in perspective the effect that it's having. You know, I work with homeowners quite a bit with this Thousand Cankers Disease project that I'm doing. So kind of knowing that I can help them and help plantation growers and stuff like that, it's really rewarding.
To make real progress, it takes a commitment, an institutional commitment across a long length of time, because it takes a bit of time to make strides. Yes, we have made strides. Are there more strides to make? Oh yeah. There are many new tools that we can use that exist on this campus, and the human expertise exists here as well to really make more efficient use of our efforts.
If you are interested in learning more information about how HTIRC will be making a difference in the future, visit our website, www.htirc.org.